Teresa, we've been working a lot over the past few sessions, and I think you've been doing some really good, really difficult work. And we've kind of looked at the kind of a belief that you have about yourself. And it seems that something that you feel is that if you try to assert yourself, things might end up going badly. You might make things worse. Is that okay?
Yeah, no, I think
that's
how
what
it's
going to gather, yeah. Well, today I kind of want to take that belief and challenge it a little bit. Actually, I want you to challenge it a little bit. And so I'm wondering, what are some instances, some real things that have happened in the past that have made you feel this way?
I mean, one just comes to mind. When I was young, my mom was always sick, and my sister took care of her because my sister knew how to do that better than me. But once I was home alone, and I thought it would be a good idea for my mom to walk around the apartment because, get some exercise, and she fell, and we had to call the ambulance. She had to go to the hospital, and my sister was yelling at me, so, not a great example of me doing something right.
That does sound like a really hard event that stayed with you for a while.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to forget about that situation, but maybe put it to the side for a second, and see if you can give me an example of a time when you have asserted yourself and things went well.
Well, I was really scared to tell my family because they're very Catholic that I'm gay, and I did, and it actually turned out fine. They were really great about it, so I guess I was proud of myself for that.
Definitely. It sounds like you were scared about communicating a very essential part of yourself to a family that could have different beliefs, but you did it anyway, and it went well.
Yeah, it really did.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay, well, going back to the situation that happened when you were younger, when your mom fell and had to go to the hospital, it sounds like you're blaming yourself for that and blaming you trying to help her exercise, encourage her to exercise is the reason that it all happened. Can you describe it in another way if you were going to step out of the situation and look back at it?
You mean like another explanation? I mean, I have thought sometimes that I was very young, and maybe everything in that situation wasn't within my power.
Definitely, I would agree with that.
And I wouldn't let my sister move my mom, and the EMT said that was actually really important and helpful. So.
Okay, great. So, can you see that there are different ways of looking at that situation? And when you first told me the story, it was that you were at fault, and then you came up with an alternate explanation that you were young, and then another explanation that you were able to assert yourself and keep your mom from getting more injured.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, coming back into the present and the things that are going on with you now, let's talk about your relationship with Allison. And, you've mentioned wanting to kind of assert yourself more in that situation. So what would be the worst that would happen if you were to do that, to stand up and talk to her about the care of Katerina?
We would break up.
Really?
Yeah.
And obviously that would be really, really...
That would be the worst.
Yeah. How likely is it that if you stand up and talk about the care of your daughter together with your partner, that you're going to end up breaking up?
I mean, if you say it like that, we've had so many problems and we've worked through them. So I guess, technically it's probably not that high a chance. Plus, she's the one who's always telling me to speak up and and be more aggressive, and she might even, I don't know, she might even like it.
Well, okay. So yeah, I think that's definitely you're putting it back in perspective. I think you're right. I think you're not going to break up if that happens. You're putting it back into this perspective of what's really going on. Well, you've done a lot of good work of challenging a belief that you've had about yourself for a really long time. And you know, you started off in the first few weeks sort of feeling that if you assert yourself, things are going to go badly. And what I've heard you say today is that sometimes when you've asserted yourself, things have gone well, and sometimes, or in the future, if you assert yourself, things might go well.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I'm wondering how we can, you know, start seeing that actually happen in your life, not just here in our room together. So why don't we start developing some action steps, some sort of homework that you can do to challenge this belief in your daily life.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Okay.
Okay.